Flex Owens here at the APW Historic Garage in Hayward, California. And I, myself, am from Cloud9, which is historic in its own right. I am the ultimate piece of paradise in that vicinity. And tonight, I came here to fight one of the best in this company, Matt Carlos. Well, Matt Carlos, I know a victory over you will send me sky high. And since I'm from the clouds anyway, buddy, as you can see, I have the body of a god and the face of an angel. And what you're gonna get tonight is something that you've never experienced before. And it's a dose of flexuality. Get ready, my friend, because you're in for something that you will love the experience of and never forget to represent Flex Pride. Flex out.
I'm all broke, and you're just an amateur. You can try as hard as you can, but you can't handle us. I'm waiting at the pick and signing autographs. I'm always in first place, you always in the back. For me, I'm all broke, and you're just an amateur. You can try as hard as you can, but you can't handle us. I'm waiting at the pick and signing autographs. I'm always in first place, you always in the back. For me, I'm all broke.
Hello, All Pro Wrestling Sheep. I am Matthew Theall, the greatest mind of professional wrestling. That over there, that is Shane STOLI.
Matthew Theall, I am excited about today's show. In our opening match, we've got the debut of Flex Owens as he takes on former Worldwide Internet Champion Matt Carlos.
Out of control, Matt Carlos in our opening contest against Flex Owens. We just saw him at the beginning of the program. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the ring.
I am as well. He's got an impressive physique. I hope that his skills match. And in our next match,
Billy Blade takes on Mr. Wrestling number 4. Billy Blade's vendetta against former Worldwide Internet Champions continue.
He's trying to make a name in the singles ranks after almost a decade of dominating the tag team scene. In our main event,
Dylan Drake takes on APW boot camp graduate Mikey J.
Both are boot camp graduates, and both are fantastic athletes. I got to give the edge to Dylan Drake in this one, as he's a former Universal Heavyweight Champion now.
Experience, but here we are heading into the very first match.
We got Flex Owens coming out. I'm excited to see what this guy can do in the ring.
Flex Owens, look, his boots are fuzzy.
Just one. He's like, some of the greatest competitors in the history of the sport have worn fuzzy boots. You have Bruiser Brody's the first one that comes to my mind, one of my favorites.
What about the Giant Gonzalez?
How about Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer?
And Flex Owens.
Flex Owens, carrying on the long tradition of the fuzzy boots.
There he is. Look at him. He looks ready to go here.
Fantastic body.
And what a great opponent to start off with. Out of control, Matt Carlos. Well decorated in All Pro Wrestling.
There's no finer member of the All Pro Wrestling roster than Matt Carlos. He's always out there to put on an impressive show and always unpredictable.
Well, he is a former Young Lions Cup champion. He's a former Worldwide Internet champion. I believe he was Rookie of the Year the first time he came out.
Absolutely. Incredibly impressive credentials for such a young star here in All Pro Wrestling.
And his opponent from Union City, California, weighing 173 pounds, out of control, Matt Carlos.
You know, Shane, Matt Carlos comes out here, he's a ball of fire, he's a bunch of energy, but he's just wasting it all. He doesn't know what Flex Owens is going to bring to the table. What's he doing expending all of this energy before the match?
Matt Carlos' energy knows no limits, Matthew Theall. He's always a bottomless well of energy here, and he never has problems pulling on those reserves.
Well, I don't know what Flex is going to bring. I don't know what's going to be in this match. This is brand new, never before seen.
He's definitely an unknown factor in the ring, and I'm really looking forward to see what he's going to bring to the table here. Referee Toby checking Matt Carlos. What is your problem with the officials in All Pro Wrestling, Matthew?
Did you forget that Toby threw me out of the match the last time we were all out there?
But you were caught cheating.
What?
That's his job.
That I want to see the video evidence of that. Okay.
It was on the TV show.
Yeah, you know what, Shane? Let's not talk about the past. Okay. Let's talk about the present. Let's talk about right now. All right.
Right now is going to be fantastic as Matt Carlos and Flex Owens get set to lock up for the first time.
For the first time ever. This is groundbreaking here in All Pro Wrestling.
Absolutely. This is I'm excited to see what Flex Owens can do in the ring here against Matt Carlos.
And you know, this might be the very first time that Matt Carlos is taller than his opponent.
I'm going to say that he's taller than Mr. Wrestling number 4.
I don't know about that.
Flex Owens looking impressive.
Obviously spends a great deal of time in the gym.
It's one of the keys to success in professional wrestling. Oh, Matt Carlos gaining control.
Nice play. But of course, Matt Carlos now needs to break that hold.
Even though he does have the height advantage, I think that Flex Owens' strength is going to play a big key role in this match here.
That is a very good analysis, Shane. Very good.
Thank you, Matt.
Hey, no problem. And again, another lockup here in the middle of the ring, and Matt Carlos takes over with that headlock.
Flex Owens fires him off. Oh. Reversal by Matt Carlos. Ducks the clothesline.
Head scissors
Oh,
taken
head
down
scissors.
Flex Owens.
Nice head scissors by Matt Carlos. Folks, we got to go to a commercial break. When we come
good.
back, we'll
Flex
see
is calling
the
for a
end
timeout.
of this match.
Do you have what it takes to become a pro wrestler? The APW Boot Camp Training School is accepting applicants for pro wrestlers, managers, valets, and referees. All Pro Wrestling home APW Boot Camp is where future legends are born. For the last 19 years, APW has been the leader in talent development. Top graduates include The Great Khali, Crash Holly, Spike Dudley, and Alyssa Flash. For your free brochure, call us at 510-785-8396.
We are back, All Pro Wrestling Cheap, and Flex Owens has taken this entire commercial break to rest, to relax, to get his wits about him once again, and now he's going to rejoin Matt Carlos in the ring. Looks like a little forcefully, though.
Matt Carlos brings him back in, whether he's ready to come in or not. Matthew, have you, after the outing we've seen from Flex Owens, are you considering scouting him for the All-Stars?
I'm scouting him right now. I'm watching everything. Look, did you see that gouge to the eyes? That was great. Huge hammering shots to the face of Matt Carlos. That's going to get the young guy's attention.
Flex Owens fires Matt Carlos off. Up and over by Matt Carlos. Oh! Goes for that flying crossbody. Flex Owens catches him. 1, 2. Flex Owens caught Matt Carlos with that knee.
There we go.
Dodge the crossbody.
Flex Owens seems to have Matt Carlos well scouted.
Well, I mean, and Matt Carlos, it doesn't seem that he knows a lot about Flex Owens. So
Well, that's the advantage. That if you're coming into All Pro Wrestling, you'll have hours and hours and hours of footage of everybody here on YouTube alone.
absolutely, you can see, like, for example, Jody Christopherson, you can see him from his very first match all the way up until today on youtube.com/allprowrestling.
So anybody coming into All Pro Wrestling like Flex Owens has that distinct advantage, and he's showing it here in this match.
But Matt Carlos not taking it. He's fighting back, but Flex Owens cuts him off with a big knee to the face.
Flex just stalking Matt Carlos in the corner.
What's he going to do here? Fires him off.
Oh, missing the splash, though. Carlos getting out of the way just in time.
Matt Carlos just a bit too quick on that one. Flex Owens groggy.
May have hit his head on the turnbuckle.
Oh, coming in. But Matt Carlos cuts him off with a big foot to the gut. And a nice suplex by Matt Carlos.
Owens back to his feet first, though.
Owens clearly just has an amazing reserve. Oh, goes for that big famouser. 2 count only. Flex Owens goes for the pin again. 1, 2. Matt Carlos just pulling on those endless reserves of energy we talked about earlier.
Do you think that Flex is coming into this match with an injury? You see the bandage on his thigh.
I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't
It's
know.
a bold fashion statement. That's what that is.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You're going to see that in Milan in no time.
I'm not hip to the current trends being an old man.
Of course I am, but Matt Carlos here looking for that backslide pin.
Oh! Interesting maneuver by the out-of-control one.
Viciousness
Oh!
heading right into that mat liner.
Face first with the mat liner. Flex Owens. This is where Matt Carlos really needs to capitalize. Flex Owens may have done too much damage to him, and now he's got an opportunity to escape a pin attempt right here.
I'm not sure exactly what's happened to Matt Carlos. Still hasn't gotten back to his feet,
Flex Owens clearly took it out of him.
but he may be thinking Union landing at this point, though.
Matt Carlos comes in with a big clothesline. Nice drop kick by Matt Carlos, taking Flex Owens off his feet once again. Fires him in off the ropes. Oh, back elbow by Matt Carlos, and Flex Owens is
Going
in
for
the
the
world
cover
hurt.
here.
1, 2.
2 count. Flex getting out of there just in time.
Really impressed with the resiliency of Flex Owens. He's been able to avoid everything Matt Carlos has thrown
Absolutely,
at
but
him.
Matt Carlos now scaling to the top rope. Flex coming in to stop him.
This should be interesting. Oh, headbutts.
Raking in the eyes? Headbutts? I'm not sure what that was.
It looked like a combination headbutt eye rake there.
Matt Carlos here coming off the top rope. Oh! What a diving DDT off the top rope. Flex Owens kicks out of that.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
What on earth? It's taken a lot of...
Flex Owens must have been acting on pure instinct.
Must have been, but Owens looks like he's still down for the count. If Matt Carlos can just crawl over and pin him one more time.
Flex Owens looks to be out cold. With his last bit of energy, he kicked out of that pin, and now he's out.
He's completely unresponsive in there, and Toby's calling the match.
Wow, that's it. Matt Carlos knocked out Flex Owens.
And the winner by knockout, Matt Carlos.
There you have it, a knockout by Matt Carlos. You don't see those very often in professional wrestling, but that was quite impressive.
Very impressive by Matt Carlos, and impressive for Flex Owens as well, able to kick out of that even though he couldn't continue the match.
Matt Carlos doesn't know what to think.
But we got to go to commercial break, folks. We'll be back after these.
Are you or your son or daughter celebrating a birthday soon? There's no better way to celebrate a birthday than to throw the birthday person a pro wrestling themed birthday party. We have several packages available, including renting our facility with a customized pro wrestling show. Bring your birthday cake and invite your guests to attend a private pro wrestling birthday party. If you are interested in having All Pro Wrestling be a part of your birthday celebration, give us a call at 510-785-8396 or visit the website at www.allprowrestling.com.
Hello, All Pro Wrestling Sheep. I am Matthew Theall, the greatest mind of professional wrestling. This is your APW News Break, and here are your headlines. Last week, we saw 2 incredible, huge, big matches in which Boyce LeGrand and James Watkins, one beat the snot out of each other. They didn't listen to the bell. They continued after it ended. James Watkins, beaten up on Boyce LeGrand. Vince DeMarco came in. He made the save. He helped Boyce LeGrand out. They're old, pioneers together, friends, buddies from a long time ago, I would imagine. So, but of course, that didn't take too kindly. James Watkins didn't like that at all. So at the end of the Italian punishment match, when Vince DeMarco was handcuffed and defenseless, James Watkins came in and he put the boot down on Vince DeMarco, and it was very fun for me to watch. I'll have to be honest with you. But let's go back. Let's revisit that footage, and then we're going to hear from James Watkins and Boyce LeGrand.
all pro wrestling fans, do you want to know what the definition of a punk is? Let me tell you. The definition of a punk is James Watkins. James, when you felt that match slipping away, we were going at it step by step, hold for hold, move for move, and you felt it just slipping, sliding away from you. You felt that death just creeping in on you. So what did you do? You kicked me in the groin, got yourself intentionally disqualified, and you then attacked me, left me laying in this ring, counting the lights. I don't take something like that lightly. But let me tell you something, punk. Not only did you attack me, you attacked a defenseless, beaten Vince DeMarco after his match that he had, and you sent him to the hospital, showing just exactly how black your heart is, just exactly how dark your insides are. Well, James Watkins, let me tell you something. You want to go all out? You want to go all out? You want to go balls to the wall, son? Well, let me tell you something. We can do it. We can do it APW style. We can take it old school. We can do it West Side style. Yeah, you remember that, son? We can take it out to the streets. We can come on, because this ring's not going to be able to hold us. Let me tell you, next time I get my hands on you, James Watkins, I want you in a classic APW Gym Wars street fight.
Vince DeMarco, you should not stick your nose in business where it doesn't belong. That big fat Italian nose got you put in the hospital because you decided to interfere in my matchup with Boyce LeGrand. And Boyce LeGrand, I'm not done with you either. First things first, Vince, you're in the hospital for a reason. Remember that as you're laying there watching horrible cable channels. Remember that you were there because you stuck your nose in my business. Don't come back looking for a fight. Don't come back looking for anything, because I will put you right back there. Now, Boyce LeGrand, Mr. High and Mighty, you purposely got in the way when I slipped so I would kick you in the groin. You are the one that got me disqualified. You cheated. Now you want to challenge me to a street fight? A street fight? Really? After what we did, after all the matches we've been through, after all the people I've injured in APW, you want to challenge me to a street fight? You're on! I will gladly accept your challenge. I will gladly come here. And I'm going to have surprises for you. I'm going to bring in everything. It's one thing after another. When we go outside, don't expect any ropes or comfortable turnbuckle pads for yourself. Oh no. Chairs, tables, concrete, cars, glass, weapons I can find, trees, whatever I can get a hand on. Boyce LeGrand, when we meet up for that street fight, it'll be all said and done. I'm going to put you right next to Vince DeMarco. In fact, I brought the gurney. This is what you're going to be riding on. So get used to this. Mr. LeGrand, your ride awaits.
Welcome back, APW fans, as you hear the strains of Poison ring through the air. You know that the Rock of Love, Billy Blade, is going to be making his way down to ringside for an awesome match. What's sure to be an awesome match with the one and only Mr. Wrestling number 4.
So Shane, I was on my way back here from the APW newsroom, and I did poke my head in, check on Flex Owens. He is talking, he's responsive, our medical professionals are looking him over, but things seem to be okay for him.
Did you steal his wallet while you were in there?
No, I sold him a copy of Pro Wrestling Illustrated featuring the one and only Perry Von Vicious, $35.
Well, I guess that's better than taking his wallet.
With his manager, Big Steve, from Sunset Boulevard in the Hollywood Hills, weighing 221 pounds, the Rock of Love, Billy Blade.
Billy Blade, of course, making his entrance with his manager slash roadie slash agent slash just jack of all trades, Big Steve.
Big Steve, quite an impressive specimen, and obviously knows how to pick him. And when he signed up with Rock of Love Billy Blade, because
Billy Blade has been on a tear through all pro wrestling lately.
Absolutely, he's taken on many former worldwide internet champions, and is looking to make Mr. Wrestling number 4 the next in a long line of victories he's had.
And at the beginning of this dedication that Billy Blade has shown, he has said that he has his eyes set on the Worldwide Internet Championship. And instead of just going around complaining, begging, petitioning, politicking for a championship match, he's gone out and he has beaten former champions working his way up to that eventual, I guarantee it, eventual championship opportunity.
Well, not only taking his victories into consideration, you have to take his history into consideration as well. You know, former multiple-time All-Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champion, just a fierce competitor throughout the years here in All-Pro Wrestling.
But they do say that this may be his toughest challenge yet, Mr. Wrestling number 4.
Mr. Wrestling number 4, like we said earlier, a former worldwide internet champion and one of the most popular competitors here in All-Pro Wrestling.
Somebody I just cannot stand.
Matt, I thought that you and Mr. Wrestling number 4 had worked out your issues.
Never. He won't even come and sit down at the table with me.
And from the opponents, from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing 184 pounds, Mr. Wrestling number 4.
Mr. Wrestling number 4 enjoying some time with one of our fans there.
Who is that kid? Why is he always getting in the way of the wrestlers when they make their entrance?
It's the super fans. You know, you say you don't get along with Mr. Wrestling number 4, Matthew, but I know for a fact that you would sign him in a second if he would take your contract.
Of course I would sign him in a second. That's Mr. Wrestling number... You've seen him, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You've
He's
seen
one
him.
of the best competitors that All Pro Wrestling has ever had.
And if I were to attach the Theall Stars name to him, if I were to give him a Theall Stars t-shirt, do you know what that would mean for me?
You'd have one less t-shirt?
I don't care about Mr. Wrestling number 4's personal battles with me. I care about attaching myself to a star and taking Theall Stars to that next level, and I would need somebody like Mr. Wrestling number 4. Not that Perry Von Vicious and Damian Grundy are all that bad.
What would your plan be for Mr. Wrestling number 4 if you did sign him to the All-Stars?
Big money matches against big money competitors. We got Colt Cabana running around as their worldwide internet champion. You think I could get a match with Mr. Wrestling number 4 in there? Absolutely, I could.
I don't know. I question your pull with the championship committee, Matthew Theall. I mean, how many title shots have the All-Stars gotten?
Perry Von Vicious is the 2011 Young Lions Cup champion, sir.
I'm talking about titles that are defended on a regular basis. How many?
When did this break down into attacking the All-Stars, Shane
I'm not
STOLI?
attacking
We've got
the
a huge
All-Stars.
match coming up. Billy Blade is going to wrestle Mr. Wrestling number 4, and you want to talk to me about how the All-Stars have failed? I don't think so. Perry Von Vicious was in Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I need a break.
Apparently, Matthew Theall has left the building as we get ready for this fantastic match. Billy Blade being checked out by referee Toby as Mr. Wrestling number 4 warms up. Of course, Mr. Wrestling number 4 from the classic lineage of Mr. Wrestling wrestlers.
Security wouldn't let me leave. They said I was contractually obligated to finish the show, so let's just get through this, okay?
Well, I appreciate you coming back, Matthew.
Didn't do it for you. I did it for All Pro Wrestling. I did it for the All Pro Wrestling and the APW boot camp.
I'm sure your fan appreciates it.
This is going to be just unbearable. But we got this match
Mr.
here.
Wrestling
Mr. Wrestling number 4. No, let me talk, Shane, all right? Mr. Wrestling number 4, he's doing his thing. He's doing his little dance and his jive. He's trying to trick the referee. Ha, ha, ha. It's big fun. How about we wrestle a match, hey, Mr. Wrestling number 4? I just spent the last 5 minutes toting your accomplishments, and you haven't even put on a headlock yet. Let's get this thing going.
Both men seem to be stalling, trying to feel each other out, playing the psychological game here at the beginning of the match. Should be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, Billy Blade doing the right thing, spitting his gum out. And, oh, God. Well, you know.
That was 4 different kinds of nasty right there, Matthew
Big
Theall.
Steve is just saving it for later. Like Veruca Salt, Billy Blade is going for the National Gum Chewing Championship.
I feel like I need a shower.
That's a horrible thing to say about a tough competitor like Billy Blade, who wants to wrestle the match under his own terms.
Well, he's definitely playing mind games with Mr. Wrestling number 4.
I can't think of a better strategy to go up against Mr. Wrestling number 4 than to do that, than to run around the ring, than to shimmy and dance.
Well, but Mr. Wrestling number 4 is one of the masters of the mind games. And Billy Blade is honestly playing his game right here. So this is, I don't know how effective it could be. We got a lock up here finally.
Billy Blade is about to, what is this?
Mr. Wrestling 4 getting in a little bit of a mid-match workout. Throwing Billy Blade off his game. Master of the mind games. What did I just say, Matthew Theall?
You know, it's going to be only a matter of time before Billy Blades just clotheslines Mr. Wrestling number 4, knocks him in the jaw, does something, puts himself on the top of this match, and walks away with another victory.
Mr. Wrestling number 4, shucking and jiving, getting the fans behind him there.
Now Billy Blade, you can see the look in his eyes. He's taking this portion of the match a little bit more seriously, but is that a handful of hair by Mr. Wrestling?
Headbutt. Looked like a headbutt to me. Open palm there. Oh,
how
big thump by Mr. Wrestling number 4, followed by the double axe handle and a quick pin. 1, 2.
No, just a 1 count. It'll take a lot more than that to put out Billy Blade, I tell you that.
Mr. Wrestling number 4 has thoroughly dug himself into the brain of Billy Blade.
Well, there we go. Big Steve giving him a swig of water.
Billy Blade is nasty.
You know, Billy Blade is a tough competitor, and he's shown it every time he steps into the ring. You need to get over him saving his gum. You need to get over him spitting the water, and you need to focus on the talent that Billy Blade is.
Billy Blade has talent. There's no doubt about it. Big boot to the midsection there. There's no need to save your gum. I'll buy him a pack of Juicy Fruit, and we can just do away with that. And some Kleenex to throw his old ones out in.
You just don't understand the genius that is Billy Blade.
He's misunderstood in his own time.
It's true. I'm glad you to see you're coming around. But the action is hot and heavy here in this match. Mr. Wrestling reversing Billy Blade. Looks like he's going for that figure 4 leg lock.
Billy Blade is in a lot of trouble right here. Mr. Wrestling number 4 has got that figure 4 locked in. Flat to the mat. 2 count only. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's another pinfall, but Billy getting those shoulders up. He's trying to crawl to that bottom rope.
Oh, Billy's in a lot of trouble. Fans, we got to go to commercial. When we come back, more of this great match between Mr. Wrestling number 4 and Billy Blade.
5, 4.
If you would like to get involved behind the scenes with pro wrestling, we are looking for you. All Pro Wrestling is always on the lookout for talented interns in the areas of television production, including commentators, graphic design, and website design. We also have highly paid commission sales and marketing openings. For more information, email your qualifications and resume and tell us which area behind the scenes you'd love to be involved in. For your free brochure, call us at 510-785-8396 or visit us at www.allprowrestling.net.
We are back, All Pro Wrestling Sheep, and Mr. Wrestling number 4 is firmly in control of this match.
Winding up. Oh, levels Billy Blade with a big right hand, and he's shucking and jiving here.
Makes my job hurt.
1, 2. Oh, only a 2 count. Mr. Wrestling number 4 not able to put Billy Blade away with that pin there.
But Mr. Wrestling number 4 continuing his assault, taking a moment, putting him in the headlock, trying to wear down Billy Blade some more while readdress and reconsider the next step of this match.
Oh,
That's another handful of hair. What a dirty cheat Mr. Wrestling number 4 is.
I thought it was okay to cheat, Matthew.
No. It is wrong to cheat. It's been the rules every now and again, but a blatant cheat like that, again, another handful of hair, that is wrong.
Oh, big back body drop by Billy Blade. Takes control away from Mr. Wrestling number 4.
Much deserved. You see, the cheating, underhanded tactics of Mr. Wrestling number 4 couldn't stand against Billy Blade's wrestling prowess.
Billy Blade, of course, the former tag team partner of the likes of Gangrel. Of course, his former tag team champion partner, Caden. Both competing regularly down in Southern California right now. Billy Blade. Big forearm to Mr. Wrestling number 4. Sends him into the corner. What's he doing here? Sets him up.
Oh, no. Oh, the chop. And Mr. Wrestling number 4 is not happy about that at all.
Oh, big double axe handle on Billy Blade. Sends him to the corner.
Nothing fires up Mr. Wrestling number 4 like a chop to the chest.
Oh, but that big knee just cuts off Mr. Wrestling 4's momentum completely.
You know, I'm glad this happened. Mr. Wrestling number 4 ripped off the shirt of Billy Blade. Now we get to admire those tattoos.
Look like those were done on somebody's couch at 3 o'clock in the morning, Matthew.
That's the second time I've heard that story, and it's the second time I haven't believed it. There we go. That is what we call bending the rules. That's not cheating, it's bending the rules.
What can you explain the difference between cheating and bending the rules, Matthew Theall?
Off air. It's a long explanation.
Billy Blade?
I know what he's going for here. This is the big guitar thing.
This is
I love this thing.
This is that nice guitar solo.
There it is. Yeah. Play that guitar, Billy. Oh, listen. I believe I heard the sweet sounds of poison.
I believe that Billy Blade should pick a key and stick with it. It's got that interesting looking side headlock on Mr. Wrestling number 4.
But the fans are chanting for, and Mr. Wrestling is feeling it once again.
Oh, vicious backbreaker by Billy Blade.
Again, the wrestling prowess of Billy Blade showing its head.
1, 2, and... Oh, Mr. Wrestling number 4 barely gets out. Billy Blade. Oh.
Stiff shot to the gut in that corner. Mr. Wrestling has got nowhere to go. Oh.
Fins off the attack. But Billy Blade is back to his feet.
And then again, but Mr. Wrestling dives out of the way.
Blocks that big right hand and delivers one of his own. 3. Winding it up again.
Oh, and connects with that hard right hand.
Oh, that big chop to the throat and followed up by the double axe handle. And a beautiful drop kick by Mr. Wrestling number 4. Gets the pin. 1, 2, and... Wow, Billy Blade looking to be in a little bit of trouble here. Mr. Wrestling number 4 just hurls Billy Blade into that corner. Oh!
Up and over, Mr. Wrestling barely hanging on.
Again with the hair, Mr. Wrestling number 4. You're right, he's being rather...
Big Steve's got Mr. Wrestling number 4's leg bending the rules, distracting Mr. Wrestling. Oh,
Billy Blade with the roll-up. He's got him here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, my God. What a win for Billy Blade.
And the winner by pinfall in 7 minutes and 18 seconds, Billy Blade.
And Mr. Wrestling number 4 is not happy about the result of that match at all.
Taking out yet another former internet champion, Billy Blade, victorious here in a great match against Mr. Wrestling number 4.
Billy Blade winning 100% on his own efforts, 100% on his own valor, and walking away with a victory against Mr. Wrestling. What's he going after Steve for?
Mr. Wrestling number 4 is incensed.
That's no fun. But you know what? I think Billy Blade's got a microphone.
Shut my awesome music off! And it is awesome!
Did you see all the jiggling that was going on when Mr. Wrestling number 4 punched Billy?
Yes. Don't leave that in the commentary.
So now, I'm on the hottest streak in APW history by defeating 2 former APW champions and Boyce LeGrand and Mr. Russell number 4. So now, I am challenging Colt Cabana. Because when push comes to shove, I'm the Rock of Love.
Well, there you have it, fans. Billy Blade challenging Colt Cabana. But now I heard that we need to go to the back because the Carnival of Shadows have something to say to AJ Kirsch.
AJ, you have yet to reveal who your partner is, and that is unacceptable. You have until the end of today to tell us who your partner will be, or there will be no match next week, and you will be sitting in front of your APW faithful all by yourself.
Do you have what it takes to become a pro wrestler? The APW Bootcamp Training School is accepting applicants for pro wrestlers, managers, valets, and referees. All Pro Wrestling home APW Bootcamp is where future legends are born. For the last 19 years, APW has been the leader in talent development. Top graduates include the Great Khali, Crash Holly, Spike Dudley, and Alyssa Flash. For your free brochure, call us at 510-785-8396.
You see, Venice DeMarco, transformative justice is a new eye of society. You see, You came, you saw, you lost. Rick Luxury put you in the ground where you belong, my friend.
Vince DeMarco. You wanted to challenge me to an Italian punishment match? You wanted to put these handcuffs at every corner. And you wanted to see who would walk out. Well, guess what? At the end of that match, I left you not knowing whether you were awake or dreaming. I left you questioning if you should ever come back as a professional wrestler. But see, that's not the question on my mind. The question on my mind is simple. Colt Cabana, you've been running your mouth with my APW Worldwide Internet Championship. Everyone's seen you on Twitter, Facebook, your little blog talk. Any way you look at it, it doesn't matter. You haven't been here in the APW garage where the real Worldwide Internet Champion has been. And Marcus Mack, please tell me you got some good news for me.
Wrestling personified. I've been talking to all of the right people. And it's up to Colt Cabana, is what it comes down to. Colt Cabana, we have a plane ticket purchased for you. We have a hotel room in your name.
It's waiting.
All you have to do is show that you really are the Internet's champion.
You see, Colt, I'm the Worldwide Internet Champion, whether you like it or not. And you can Ricky Boy all you want. The fact of the matter is, when you step into the garage, you're in the house that I built.
When it's all said and done, players and pimps, suckers and simps, chicken heads and scallywags, your winner and undisputed Worldwide Internet Champion, wrestling personified, Rick Luxury.
Call me Colt.
Ricky, you see this thing? This thing's got more passport stamps than you got sending out bills on a weekly basis. It's been around the world. It's traveled in my bag, traveled in my back pocket. All around. Worldwide Internet Champion. Because I am the champion of the Internet. Podcast, YouTube, Twitter, you name it. I'm doing it. I came here, I accepted your challenge, and I dominated. I dominated you, and I've dominated the Internet. And that's how that's it. That's how it was gonna be. Fair and square, but I keep on hearing your name. You keep on sending me messages through the Internet. Obviously trying to still be champion of the Internet with your real Internet championship. I just can't take it anymore. I am a man of the people, and the people are on the Internet. Why? I am the Internet champion. So I will take your challenge. I will come back to the garage. Gym Wars, APW, challenge accepted. Colt Cabana will continue to rule the Internet and the world. But most importantly, the Internet.
All right, wrestling fans, coming up on February the 18th, we have another big live TV taping, and it should be interesting. It has just recently been announced that Rick Luxury would be taking on Colt Cabana, but with the challenge of Billy Blade, we have to wonder how that is going to affect our Internet title match on February the 18th.
Once again, I heard that Corvus has made the demand to find out who my surprise tag team partner is when he and I face off against Corvus and Omega at All Pro Wrestling Gym Wars. And Corvus, your demands mean absolutely nothing to me. But I want you to spend the next week living in fear. So what I'm going to do right now is reveal to you my surprise tag team partner, my fellow contestant from WWE Tough Enough, Eric Watts. Nice shirt, bro.
You too, bro.
Thanks, man.
You know what I hate?
Tell me.
I hate cowards. The kind of cowards that attack people from behind.
I know a couple of them.
I do too. The Carnival of Marshmallows. You know, I saw the video. I saw what they did to you. Yeah. And when they got that call, I was like, hell yeah, come on. You know, I really wish that things were different. This was why I was here. I wanted to see you under happier conditions. But you know what? This is how it is. This is how it's going to be. Carnival of Shadows, y'all don't messed up.
Your number just got drawn, Carnival, and the going just got tough.
Wow! AJ Kirsch teaming with Eric Watts to take on the Carnival of Shadows in our main event next week.
Carnival of Shadows out for blood, but how are they going to stand up against a team like AJ Kirsch and Eric Watts?
I don't know, but for the first time ever, Team Tumble Watts together in All Pro Wrestling. It's crazy. It's incredible. And of course, next week also huge match. Everyone's been talking about this. The return of the Rock legend Scum Adam Thornstowe to take on the British Messiah Timothy Thatcher.
Another main event level match between two of the best competitors here in All Pro Wrestling. I can't wait for that one, Matthew.
Now stay tuned for our main event coming up next.
Do you have what it takes to become a pro wrestler? The APW Bootcamp Training School is accepting applicants for pro wrestlers, managers, valets, and referees. All Pro Wrestling home APW Bootcamp is where future legends are born. For the last 19 years, APW has been the leader in talent development. Top graduates include The Great Khali, Crash Holly, Spike Dudley, and Alyssa Flash. For your free brochure, call us at 510-785-8396.
And we are back, All Pro Wrestling Sheep. This is All Pro Wrestling Gym Wars. I am Matthew Theall, joined by Shane STOLI, and this is your main event.
That's right, making his way to the ring with his hair still intact is the former Universal Heavyweight Champion, Dylan Drake.
From San Francisco, California, weighing 223 pounds, Dylan Drake.
So do you still have the chicken suit, Matthew?
What?
Do you still have the chicken suit, Matthew?
What?
Do you still have the chicken suit?
You know, I think something might be wrong with my headphones. I'm just not making out what you're saying.
I think you're hard of listening.
What?
Dylan Drake, a big fan favorite here at Gym Wars.
Stupid Dylan Drake with a stupid haircut.
I don't understand what your problem was with Dylan's hair in the first place, but
I'm moving on. I am moving on from Dylan Drake, all right? I've got big plans for 2012 with the All-Stars. No more with this Dylan Drake garbage.
Really?
We're moving on.
What are your plans for 2012,
I'm not
Matthew?
telling you now.
Come on.
No.
Come on, it's Gym Wars exclusive right here,
Gym
Matthew.
Wars exclusive. The Gym Wars exclusive you want is go to MatthewTheall.com at your earliest convenience and you'll see what's going on.
I've been to MatthewTheall.com and it's selling the salad shooter? What's that?
No, that's not true at all, but with Mikey J.
From Redwood City, California, weighing 180 pounds, Mikey J.
Mikey J, ladies and gentlemen, fierce competitor in that 2011 Young Lions Cup that Perry Von Vicious went on to win. Some people say might have been a different story if Mikey J hadn't been taken out by Corvus.
I don't know what you're talking about. Perry Von Vicious won that match against Mikey J. But hey, you know, I was talking to Mikey J before the show, and he said he would let me, Perry Von Vicious, and Damian Grundy go to the after party that he's throwing at his homestead
Tonight after this match.
Yeah,
you guys are going to the after party?
Yeah, absolutely. We were invited personally by Mikey J.
I find that a little hard to believe.
What? Well, I mean, we didn't get one of the paper invitations that everybody else did, but he told us we could come.
By telling you could come, are you talking about when you guys were standing outside of the Godfather, Roland Alexander's office, and he was inviting Roland, and you heard him invite Roland and give him the address?
No.
Here, the match has started, fans. Mikey J versus Dylan Drake is underway.
This should be good. I'm looking forward to this. A battle of the boot camp graduates. You got the young guy, Mikey J, versus the really old guy, Dylan Drake.
Really old guy? What planet are you from?
Mikey J with a quick roll-up, but Dylan Drake kicking out. Here's a crucifix pin this time. This one could be over already.
1, 2, hey, Dylan kicks out. Mikey J, being smart strategy-wise here, knows that he does not have a strength or size advantage over Dylan Drake, so he's using his speed. Dylan Drake.
Oh, but Mikey J landing on his feet, avoiding that backbreaker, going up to roll up Dylan Drake one more time.
2 in.
Oh, only a 2. Dylan Drake squeaks by once again.
Dylan Drake able to rely on his momentum there to just roll right through that pin. Mikey J, quick as a cat here in this opening minutes of this match, though.
Mikey J just trying to knock Dylan Drake off of his game early on.
The strength advantage of Dylan plays in there, but Mikey J with that speed and quickness keeps coming back for more. And quick pin, 1, 2, in. Dylan Drake just too strong, has too much left in the tank. And Mikey J, ready to go.
Mikey
will
J
not let up.
Wrestling a very smart match to begin against Dylan Drake. He knows how well decorated Dylan Drake is, and Mikey J
Big
pulling out
drop.
everything here in the beginning of the
1,
match.
2, and oh, so close. Referee Toby administering that count. Forearm to the back. Oh, big forearm. Mikey J
coming up, but
oh, Dylan Drake cuts him off into that big backbreaker.
from out of nowhere, Dylan Drake has completely turned the tables in this match. One well-placed knee to the back has stopped Mikey J dead in his tracks.
Dylan Drake getting him up again. Another big backbreaker, of course, setting up for that beta breaker. 1, 2, and Dylan Drake firmly in control here, slowing down the pace of this match, controlling the speed where he wants it to be, making sure that Mikey J isn't hitting those high-risk maneuvers that he's famous for. Big body slam by Dylan Drake comes off the ropes.
Standing splash. I think he might have learned that one from
1,
Blackwell.
2, and just a 2 count.
When you're not a 600-pound man, those splashes just don't have quite the same effect.
They still can injure the ribs and take a man's breath away. That's quick enough to get a 3 count. Mikey J up and over. 1, 2, and kick out. Fans, we have to take a commercial break. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
And we are back on Pro Wrestling Sheep. Dylan Drake has just been pounding Mikey J through the entire commercial break, trying everything he can to set up for that beta breaker.
He's got Mikey J on his stomach, destroying the bottom half of his body.
Going after those knees, going after the back, doing whatever he can to weaken Mikey J.
Mikey J, once his legs and knees are taken out, he cannot hit that high-risk offense that he's so noted for.
Without the power of the legs, he can't hit the party crash. Without the power of legs, he can't stand. And as long as they're being weakened, it's just going to be more and more and more something.
Something? How about more and more likely that he's going to tap out to the beta breaker?
I thought that went without saying.
Is that why you didn't say it?
Exactly. But the match continues. Dylan Drake with elbow right under the spine of Mikey J.
Just leveling, mercilessly pounding Mikey J. Oh, Mikey J with a mule kick.
That looked a little low.
Goes over the top, but Dylan Drake rolls through.
Oh, and Mikey J eats the feet of Dylan Drake. A huge standing drop kick.
That's twice now that the strength of Dylan Drake has allowed, he's been too strong for Mikey J, been able to roll through those pin attempts and get out when Mikey J was trying to get a victory.
Very nice analysis again, Shane.
Dylan Drake with a big stalled suplex here. Oh, into a backbreaker. Dylan Drake is quickly becoming a master of pulling a backbreaker out of anywhere. Every week I see something new from him, and it's
once you have a set strategy in mind when you wrestle matches, his strategy is to lock on the beta breaker and get that submission victory. Your entire game changes. Oh man, I'm not sure who got the worst of that. Mikey J throwing up a drop kick to block the cross body by Dylan Drake, but Drake still landed on him.
Both men are down. So let me ask you real quickly, Matthew Theall, going back, do you think you should have told Perry Von Vicious to take out that left knee? Because that's where his backbreakers come in. Dylan Drake, the first one back to his feet. But Mikey J firing in. Dylan Drake comes back. It'll be interesting to see who's got more left in the tank after this amazing match. Big forearm by Mikey J.
Mikey J pulling it out just for intestinal fortitude, I believe the saying goes. And Mikey J trying to maybe go for that party crasher.
That's a double underhook suplex right there.
Yeah, it was.
Goes for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, so close. I thought for sure Mikey J had it right there.
Mikey J, though, he's calling his shot. That's always dangerous. Climbing up to the middle rope, but Dylan Drake is there to cut him off.
It's one thing to play to the fans, but another thing entirely to tell your opponent exactly what you're going to do. And that really cost Mikey J right there.
And again, that's the relative inexperience. Mikey J has about a year of wrestling experience under his belt now. You really can't quite call him a rookie anymore.
Oh,
especially with pins like that. But Dylan Drake able to pop out of it just in time.
I think he had a handful of hair on that one.
sometimes you need to take advantage of things that are presented.
Nasty elbows by Dylan Drake right to the back of the skull of Mikey J. Hurls him into the ropes.
Oh, Mikey J tried to go for a sunset flip, but it gets caught and hit by an Alabama slam right into the Beta Breaker. Seamless transition by Dylan Drake.
All that work on the legs and back of Mikey J spell trouble here at this point. Mikey J viciously trying to fight it, but Dylan Drake gets it cinched in, and as he's got it set down deep.
Mikey J, though, fighting it off the best he can. He's trying to get to that bottom rope.
He's in the center of the ring. He's got nowhere to go. I'm impressed by the strength of Mikey J, but Dylan Drake just too strong. Pulls him right back into the center of the ring.
He's had this locked in for quite some time already. And there it is, the tap.
And the winner by submission in 7 minutes and 20 seconds, Dylan Drake!
Dylan Drake pulls out another victory on that first step on the long road back to the Universal Heavyweight Championship.
But how impressive was Mikey J, though? I haven't seen anybody last as long in the Beta Breaker as Mikey J has, not in recent memory at least.
Spectacular defense and spectacular offense from this young all-pro wrestling young lion, I guess you could say.
The only direction that Mikey J has from now is up in this, and this match against Dylan Drake has gone a long way to establish him, separate him from being known as the APW rookie to being APW wrestler Mikey J.
Dylan Drake checking on his opponent, making sure that he's not seriously injured. And here we get the handshake. Congratulations for a well-fought match.
Speaking of potential serious injuries, I have heard that Flex Owens was taken to a local hospital to get examined by medical professionals in more detail. We're going to have an update on his condition next week on Gym Wars.
Fans, that's all we have for this week. Thank you for joining us for another exciting edition of Gym Wars. On behalf of Roland Alexander and Matthew Theall, I am Shane STOLI saying thank you and have a great weekend.